Good morning, everybody. My name is George Podolsky. I'm with Riverside County Department of Waste Resources. Today we're in front of our worm propagation building. This is where keep our worms. Today we're going to be talking about vermicomposting and what it is, and we're going to do that briefly because I'm going to be covering that in more detail next week. But this week, because the weather is getting warm, I wanted to go into how to care for your worm bin during the hot weather. Okay, first of all, vermicomposting or vermiculture is the process of having the worms eat your decaying fruits and vegetable scraps and turning them into a very rich soil amendment called casting, which is a fancy word for worm poop. We also get another product out of it called leachate, which is another great soil amendment. And as I said, we'll go into that in a couple weeks in more detail. Okay. The most important thing to remember about your worm bin, worm bins must be kept in the shade all of the time. The reason for this, if they were left out in the sun gets very hot and it could kill the worms. So it is very important that we do that. Some of the questions I ask, can I leave my bin in the sun? No, because like I said, it gets very hot. If you put it out in the sun where it's shady, or you put it in a shady spot rather, and it gets no sunlight at all, that's great. But if you put it in a spot where it gets some shade until about 10 o'clock in the morning, after that you can't leave it there because the sun will get hot and it can kill the worms. The next thing I get is, can I leave my worm bin in the garage? The answer is no, unless it's air conditioned. Sometimes the garage can get hotter than the outside, so it's suggested that when it gets above 105 degrees to bring your worm bin inside or put it somewhere where there is good ventilation. If you do not have that and cannot bring them inside, or you do not have somewhere where there's good ventilation, one of the things I suggest is you find yourself about 4 to 5 2-liter soda bottles. You're going to fill them with, put salt in the bottom, you're going to fill it with water, and you're going to shake it up. Then you're going to put it in the freezer and thaw it, or to freeze it rather. After it's thawed, or frozen rather, you're going to put it on top of the worm bin. The question I get asked, why do you put it on top of the worm bin instead of underneath? Won't that crush the worms? The answer is no, it will not. The reason it is on top of the bin is because, unlike heat rises, cold sinks. So if we put it underneath, the cold will never come up to keep them warm. And during the summer months, I have found, because I use the salt in this, the salt makes the water makes it like super frozen. It will keep it cold 99% of the day. So I only use them about once a day, and in a bin like this, I use 2 bins. Well, I see our time is just about up. I want to thank you for watching. Again, visit our website, www.rcwaste.org, for more information on vermicomposting, composting, and gardening and green cleaning. And we'll again tune in next week for Janet in the Garden. Thank you. Have a great day.